The suspect has taken control of the perimeter. The demands are irrational. They want the blue cup, but the blue cup is in the dishwasher. Now they want the red cup, but the red cup is, quote, too spicy. The suspect is armed with a lung capacity of 120 decibels and a total lack of empathy. Negotiations have stalled. Logic has failed. Welcome to modern parenting in 2026. For the last decade, we have been operating under a specific set of rules of engagement. We were told that if the suspect is screaming on the floor of a Target because you wouldn't buy them a $40 Lego set, it is your job to de-escalate. We were told to validate, to hold space, to get down on our knees, look them in the eye, and co-regulate. We turned our living rooms into the United Nations. We convinced ourselves that if we just explained the concept of financial responsibility to a 3-year-old enough times, they would respect us. We treated our children like rational actors. But here is the problem. They aren't. I'm calling it now. The vibe shift has arrived. The era of the gentle parenting negotiation is officially dead. And in this video, we are going to talk about why we are cutting the phone lines, why we are firing the negotiator, and why, because I said so, is about to make the biggest comeback of the century. How did we get here? How did an entire generation of smart, capable adults, millennials, and Gen Z end up terrified of their own offspring? It started with a good intention. We didn't want to be our parents. We didn't want to rule with fear. We wanted to raise emotionally intelligent humans. But somewhere around 2020, we took a wrong turn. We confused respecting our children with fearing our children. We adopted what I call the customer service model of parenting. Think about it. In the last 5 years, parenting started to look a lot like working at a Genius bar where the customer is always right, even when they are screaming at you. If our child was unhappy, we treated it like a bad Yelp review. Oh, you're frustrated? I hear that you're frustrated. Let me speak to your manager, which is me, and see if we can resolve this with a popsicle. We became obsessed with the idea that any negative emotion a child felt was a failure on our part. If they were bored, we entertained them. If they were sad, we rushed to fix it. If they were angry, we apologized for making them angry. We spent years scripting. You know the scripts. The Instagram influencers sold them to us in PDF bundles for $29.99. What to say when your child hits you? What to say when your child won't eat? We memorized these scripts like actors, but nobody gave the script to the kids. So you're standing there, reciting your lines about gentle hands, and your kid is just laughing and throwing spaghetti at your face. We built a culture where the parent is the employee and the child is the CEO. And let me tell you, the CEO is a tyrant. But there is a darker reason why this is all collapsing right now in 2026. It's not just annoying, it's an economic impossibility. The gentle parenting aesthetic, the beige nurseries, the Montessori wooden toys, and the endless patience was a luxury product. It was a scam sold to us by influencers who had a secret weapon they never showed on camera: help. To negotiate with a toddler for 45 minutes about putting on shoes requires one thing: time. You have to not be late for work. You have to not be stressed about the mortgage. You have to have a nervous system that isn't fried from working 2 jobs to pay for childcare. Realizing this was the vibe shift of late 2025, we realized that this style of parenting was a performance of privilege. When you see an influencer holding space for a tantrum for an hour, you are watching someone who doesn't have a boss breathing down their neck. For the rest of us, the 20-minute shoe struggle isn't a beautiful moment of connection. It's a fast track to burnout. We realized we were drowning trying to emulate people who were playing a character. We exhausted our bank accounts buying sensory kits to keep them happy, and we exhausted our souls trying to suppress our own human reactions. We turned ourselves into doormats because we were terrified of traumatizing them. But in the process, we traumatized ourselves. We created a generation of parents who are medicated, exhausted, and resentful of their own children. And a resentful parent is a lot more dangerous than a strict one. Now, let's talk about the kids. Because the defenders of the old way will say, "But isn't this better for them? Aren't we making them feel heard?" Actually, no. Here's the psychology that the gentle movement got wrong. Children are terrified of being in charge. Imagine you get on an airplane. You sit down in 14B. Suddenly, the pilot walks out of the cockpit. He looks sweaty, he looks nervous. He comes up to you and says, "Hey, I see you're looking out the window. Does the altitude make you feel big feelings? I want to validate that. I'm thinking about landing in Chicago, but I want to check with you first. How does that feel for you? Do you want to fly the plane for a bit?" You would scream. You would demand to get off that plane. Why? Because you are a passenger. You don't know how to fly. You want a pilot who is calm, confident, and who tells you to put your seatbelt on because he said so. That is your toddler. When you ask a 3-year-old, "Are you ready to leave the park?" or "What do you want for dinner?" or "Can you please stop hitting?" you are putting them in the cockpit. You are asking them to regulate the environment. They don't have the prefrontal cortex to do that. They literally cannot do it. So when they feel that power vacuum, they panic. And how does a toddler show panic? They test the walls, they scream, they hit, they become terrorists. They are literally banging on the cockpit door screaming, "Is anyone flying this thing?" And for the last 5 years, our answer has been, "I don't know, Braden, how do you feel about flying it?" So, what comes next? If gentle parenting is out, are we going back to the 1950s? Are we bringing back the belt and children should be seen and not heard? No, that's the fear-mongering response. The vibe shift of 2026 is about the middle ground. It's called Lighthouse parenting, or sturdy leadership. Think of a lighthouse. It stands on the shore. The ocean is the child. Chaotic, stormy, crashing, beautiful, and dangerous. Does the lighthouse run down to the water and try to negotiate with the waves? Does the lighthouse apologize to the ocean for being made of brick? Does the lighthouse say, "Hey, ocean, I see you're crashing really hard right now. Let's take some deep breaths together"? No. The lighthouse just stands there. It shines the light. It says, "Here are the rocks. If you crash into them, it will hurt. I am here to show you the way, but I am not moving." This is the energy we are reclaiming. It means swapping the question mark for the period. Old way. It's time to go, okay? New way. It is time to go. It means realizing that no is a complete sentence. It has no buts. It needs no 5-minute lecture on dopamine receptors. Just a simple, sturdy no. I love you, but the answer is no. And then, and this is the part that hurts the gentle parents, you walk away. You stop the filibuster, you state the boundary, and you remove yourself as the audience for their performance. When the terrorist makes a demand, you don't negotiate. You don't offer a pouch as a bribe. You let them melt down. You let them feel the tragedy of not getting the blue cup. You are there, you are safe, you are loving. But you are bored by their tantrum. You are unbothered. You are the pilot, and you are flying the plane regardless of whether the passenger in 14B is crying about the peanuts. This shift is going to be hard. It requires you to tolerate your child being unhappy with you. And for a generation raised on people-pleasing, that is physically painful. But we have to do it. We have to do it because we are raising a generation of kids who are developing learned helplessness because they've never been allowed to sit with a negative emotion for more than 30 seconds without an adult swooping in to fix it. And we have to do it for ourselves. We are taking our houses back. We are taking our brain cells back. We are done treating our living rooms like a democracy where the person who wears a diaper has veto power. Your child is not your peer. They are not your best friend. They are a small, irrational, wonderful, chaotic human who needs a leader, not a lawyer. The negotiations are over. The phone lines are cut. The pilot is back in the seat. If you are ready to be the bad guy in the short term so you can be a good parent in the long term, hit the subscribe button. And if you think I'm traumatizing my kids, go ahead and leave a comment. But I warn you, I've learned to ignore tantrums from my toddler, so I'm definitely going to ignore them from you. Class dismissed. Next week, we're going after the next big lie, the iPad kid. You think screens are the enemy? Wait until you hear what I have to say. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the fight.